Slow progress, that's the latest assessment from the United Nations as delegates from some 200 countries from around the world have spent the best part of a week now here in Montreal trying to hammer out some kind of new globally binding deal to protect at least 30% of the world's land and ocean habitats by 2030, doing for biodiversity what the Paris Accord is intended to do to mitigate catastrophic climate change. The UN says it's making slow progress, but is trying to stay optimistic about some kind of deal being hammered out. And yet delegates here have very mixed feelings about the state of progress. We spoke to one scientist, Rachel Tiller, who specializes in fisheries habitat protection in Norway, to ask her how she sees things.
These targets are supposed to basically last until 2030. That's 7 years of targets that are going to be really hard to reach. But there's a lot of commitments to get there. But we haven't really seen the big commitments from the big countries that really need to commit to this.
Those bigger countries she mentioned are typically the richer nations who are seen as key to this kind of deal, whose ministers are expected to arrive here in Montreal later this week to try and flesh out and try and bring some kind of agreement to the finishing line if it can be achieved at all. One of the major flashpoints here relates to digital sequences information, a very unwieldy and abstract term that's not familiar to the vast majority of the general public, but has huge implications for them. It has to do with the gathering of genetic material from plants and wildlife that are used in a huge variety of products, from medicines to food products. There are huge flashpoints over here, typically from poorer nations and indeed indigenous communities who accuse richer nations of exploiting this kind of material and cutting them out of the profits. They want some kind of equity in a final deal. But separately, richer nations are also accused of hoarding this kind of genetic material. Pharmaceutical companies and indeed NGOs often say that they're endangering human health by holding up the development of crucial vaccines for things like COVID, and indeed going back through the years, even things like SARS and Ebola. So you get an idea of the kind of flashpoints here. If that term seems abstract, well, there are real world consequences if these delegates cannot find a solution with around 1 million species at risk of extinction, if these biodiverse habitats cannot be protected by 2030. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Montreal, Canada.